Hello fellow prop builders, my name's Christopher and today we're going to be reviewing my 1860s Springfield musket. So with movies and TV shows such as Star Wars taking a lot of inspiration from historical weapons, I decided to make the Springfield rifle musket that you could use for your costume for either be steampunk or a sci-fi. You can change it, add things on to make it look futuristic and make it look cool, such as, for example, the Mandalorian rifle can be, you can use this body and change it to make it look like the Mandalorian rifle that you see in season 1. So that's my good example, but who in their right mind would actually make this just an average Springfield musket rifle? This guy. I would make it because I do a little bit in the film industry. I've done a few projects or been part of a few projects, and since I do props, I wanted to make my own my own prop that would be good on camera. So making the Springfield rifle wasn't as difficult as doing the Raytheon sword. I did a review on that, so you can go look at that later. But it wasn't as difficult. From a scale from 1 to 10, from 10 being the most difficult, I give this a 7. And the reason why I say that is it's just there are some difficulties, but overall it's pretty straightforward and simple. I couldn't simply go online and find a template on how to make a Springfield musket rifle because it's such an obscure idea. Like, who would really want one in their room, right? So that is why I had to make my own, but also the difficulty of making the template was that the rifle and musket evolved over over years, so there were different types of versions that were always coming out. So finally I landed on a reference image that basically is what I used to make this. Majority of this I have it on screen so you can sort of see what I was using as my reference. So I'm going to get a little closer so you can see, but let's talk about the build and the techniques I used for most of this. I already told you before, the body, the main wood part that you see, I used a metal rod for most of this to give it extra stiffness. You don't have to do that, but that's what I did. So that was a little difficult. So when I cut the pieces out, because all this is basically one big giant slab of foam, I made a groove through it for the steel rod, and then after I did that, I glued everything together and I sanded it down. So let's quickly talk about the trigger guard and the idea I had. So I had to think outside the box because I didn't want this thing just breaking off, because just gluing it on isn't good enough. It actually needs to have be inside the prop. So what I did was I found some Q-tips of all things, and I arched the Q-tips together, glued some foam to give it that nice blocky size, and then I slapped it on. I glued everything together. The trigger obviously isn't anything special, it's just a glued on trigger. So before we end this, I want to talk about the two colors and then the two detail paints I used. So the two main colors I used was simple silver for the barrel, for anything that was metal. And then for anything that was wood, I did some bright wood, bright brown. I don't know what the exact color is. It's almost tannish, but basically you do a bright brown for that. After you do those two colors, I do also want to point out, if you can wait to paint the barrel last, like keep the barrel separate and paint it last, it might help you a lot more to do that separately than to do everything at once like I did, which was a mistake. But doing separately can help you. But that's what I did. So the two detail colors, or the two detail paints I used a watered down black to smooth everything out, to make everything look nice for the metal, to give the darker colors come out. And then for the wood, I used some, had to research, figure out how to make this wood look really nice and have those lines. You can kind of see those lines. So I had to make it look like wood. And so the way I did that was, after doing my research, was I found some wood stain. And I took, obviously, a paintbrush, and I just went up and down, but not too much, across it, but not too much. But I got those strokes that I need to make it look like wood. So that's why I would say is, of all things, use wood stain to get those strokes. You could probably use some other things, but that's why I did, is I found some wood stain, and voila, I have wood. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this B-roll that I was able to capture in this review of the techniques I use to make this prop board a little bit helpful for everyone to sort of understand, and the points I was able to give were able to help you out. You can obviously find the templates down below so you can make this for yourself. I definitely encourage you to use it to make your own sci-fi costume or a steampunk costume. Just make it your own and design it, have fun with it. So without further ado, guys, thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I guess I'll catch you on the flip side.